right, good morning everybody. My name is Mr. McCoy. I am the Advanced Manufacturing and Welding Instructor at the high school here. The programs that I teach, would you go to the next one there? The programs that I teach are called a dual enrollment program. What this means is that while you're in my program, your time is being put towards your college diploma through TCAT Crump, or Tennessee College of Applied Technology at Crump. Let's see. I have a student in my class right now that is graduating this year. He is a senior, but he will also be graduating high school with his college diploma. He has no need to go to college after this unless he wants to further his education, which in welding, in advanced manufacturing, that is something that you want to keep up with every so often. You want to further your education because the more you know about what you're doing, the more you can get paid to do it. Go ahead with the next one there. I have my two students that I have here with me today are Colton McPeak and Leanna Womble. Colton is in my advanced manufacturing class and in my welding class. Leanna is just in my welding class for right now. I'm going to let Colton start out. I'm going to move over here so he can see the board while he talks to y'all.
Advanced manufacturing uses innovative technologies to create existing products, and in the creation of new products, advanced manufacturing can include production activities that depend on information, automation, and computers. Advanced manufacturing industries include electronics, food and beverage, machinery, petroleum and coal, plastics and rubber, printing, and wood and paper.
So these are just a few of the industries that include advanced manufacturing. Advanced manufacturing is a fancy way of saying that they take technology and add it with a manufacturing process to automate that process. In the advanced manufacturing class, you learn how to combine the two together to create a product. Yes?
With 3D printing and putting stamps and
Exactly, it is. 3D printing and 3D modeling is a large part of advanced manufacturing. And not this slide, but I think it's the next one. We actually, one of the slides coming up, that's one of the things that we teach in the advanced manufacturing class is 3D modeling and 3D printing. Go ahead.
Advanced manufacturing careers: drafting and design, quality control, graphic design, machine operator, assembler, shipping and receiving, fabricator, and tooling.
So graphic design falls in with t-shirts, with making t-shirts. Any questions about what he said there on that slide? Anybody? Okay.
Local advanced manufacturing industries: Premier Quality Metals, ASC, Blue Steel, and Arkansas.
Quality metal stamping. As most of you have recognized, across the street here is a company that has QMS outside. Some of you probably have family members that work for them. That's quality metal stamping. They are huge in advanced manufacturing. From what I've seen in this area, they are the forefront of advanced manufacturing.
Advanced manufacturing program. Students will learn a variety of valuable skills including blueprint reading, shop math, CNC machine tool, programming, 3D modeling and printing, plastic injection molding, and robotics.
As you can see, the pictures that we have there on the top left-hand side, well, all of the pictures that we have there are from equipment that we have in our classroom. Top left-hand side there is a robotic arm that we've learned to program to pick up pieces, move them to another spot. We can tie that into welding. We don't use this piece of equipment for it, But in welding, they use robotics to weld. You can program the arm to move right where you want it to, and it'll do the weld for you. Top right-hand side, we have a plastic injection molder. We take plastic beads, we melt them, and push them into a mold. And that mold produces the same exact part every single time. Bottom left-hand side, we have our 3D printer. Like she just asked about, and 3D printing is extremely popular these days. 3D printers have come down in price so much that it is accessible for more and more people to do it. That's something that we're working on in class right now. We'll tell them about Tinkercad and...
Tinkercad is like, you learn the basics of how to like set up and use the 3D. You pretty much make anything that can fit inside of it.
Yeah. So we use Tinkercad, which is a free program, to learn 3D modeling. And then we can print out 3D parts. Like you said, if it can fit in the 3D printer, you can make it. You can build it in there. And that is used for a lot of different things. Pretty much anything you can think of can be printed. From here, we're going to let Leanne start talking about welding and how it ties into advanced manufacturing.
So, like how advanced manufacturing takes in, it produces everything. Welders are responsible for making pretty much the rest of the world. All of your buildings, your cars, your highways, anything that has any bit of metal in it, so that's pretty much everything, a welder has to touch it. And not only are they responsible for the infrastructure, but a lot of just your everyday products are built by welders. So your bleachers, all those little joints that you see, a welder had to touch that. On the table, a welder had to touch that. On your air conditioning, a welder had to do that. And some of that's by hand, some of it's not. Some of it's automated. And that's how advanced manufacturing is important, because you can't do everything by hand. Sometimes it just takes too long.
What she was bringing up there about welding touching everything in our lives, there are a lot of things that you may not think about that has welding involved in it. The floorboards for your gymnasium, they're wood. They don't have any metal in them except for where they were nailed at, but they were wood. They had to be cut by something. The machine that cut the wood had to be welded together. Your phones that you guys all have, the machine that built those phones had to be welded together. Almost everything that you touch in your life has welding involved in it in some way. We have a short video here that ties into TCAT Crump, their welding program. There's a point in here halfway through the video where it stops being just stock video and it's actual video of our campus at TCAT Crump. There's a couple students in there welding and cutting, but it is actually from our campus in Crump. Go ahead.
Welding is a dynamic industry with a bright future. Its influence is so broad that many of the product designs and building techniques used today would not be possible without the art of welding. As the demand for skilled welders and need for welding in modern technology continues to rise, the sky is the limit for those pursuing a career in the welding field. The TCAT Crump welding program provides students with the necessary hands-on skill and classroom knowledge required for employment as a combination welder. This program can be taken full-time or part-time evenings and typically takes 12 months to complete. Earned credentials may include multiple certificates as well as a welder diploma. Visit us online to learn more about the welding program at tcatcrump.edu or call 731-632-3393 for more information today. Welding is a dynamic industry with a bright future. Its influence is so broad that many of the...
Does that button not do it for that? Oh, there we go.
So these are just a few of the careers. There's still several more. But your automotive welding, so you'll weld your frames, your car parts, specialty car parts.
Customized cars?
Yeah, so at shop, we building a truck, we had to get a handmade custom motor mounts for our truck.
Right.
So
The
someone-
truck that was here on Tuesday through for the automotive program. Any of you guys notice the trucks that were sitting outside? Did you help work on those? On some of them, yeah. She's in the automotive program as well. They used welding quite a bit in those trucks.
So we have that. We have robotics welding. So that was again the automated welding. A welder helper. So you'll help if you're on a pipeline, you might be handling this tool, making sure everything's fit up right. A welding instructor like Mr. McCoy. A pipeline welder. So there's lots of money you can have right there if you're willing to go after it. A nuclear welder, an underwater welder, a rig welder, aerospace welder, boilermaker, a welding inspector, or shipbuilder. All of these can make good money if you go after it.
Anybody have any questions about any of the careers in welding?
Anything you don't know what they are, if you haven't heard of them before. So that's when you have almost like a self-contractor. You have a truck, you have a welder on it, and you go to different job sites till the job site's done.
You get to travel all over the country doing that kind of work. Some guys, they may work for 2 days in Texas, and then
Being
a
Wyoming.
day later they have to be in Wyoming and go to work, and then have to go to North Carolina and go to work.
It's hard, but they make really good money.
They really do, yes.
So both of these, you can go work right after school. I worked over Christmas break. I'm in high school. I've been in the welding class a year, and I was welding over Christmas break, and I was making money at a job. But you could be better if you went to school. If you go back to school, you'll make even more money. Advanced manufacturing, 60 to 70K a year. After your training, you've been there a minute, you got settled. Welding, 50 to 90, and it can even go farther than that, depending on what type of welding you're doing.
In the local area here, over the next 2 years, Ford is building a new manufacturing plant.
Blue Oval City.
Blue Oval City, exactly. They're going to need upwards of 2,200 welders over the next 2 years. Texas, right now, they want over 100,000 welders to come to work in Texas. If you want a job, there's work out there for welding. Anybody have any questions? Anything to add to or any questions about what we've talked about? You guys understand what it means about being a dual enrollment student? Anything like that? Yes.
Other than the cars and stuff, what else are you
In advanced manufacturing. Right now we are just getting into 3D modeling. I regret having not brought anything. Personally, I designed a keychain that says CCHS for Chester County High School. I've 3D printed a baby Groot, like he's sitting there.
The duck calls.
Yes, I've made a couple duck calls. Let's see, there was something that I just done for someone. Something else to do with duck hunting. A student wanted something, and he didn't want to pay the $15 for it, so he asked me if I could make it for him. Yes. Oh, I thought you was putting your hand up. I'm sorry.
What's up?
Oh yeah.
It's interesting. So you have to be completely suited up, and you get paid for how many feet down you're welding. That's how much more money you make. So it's really dangerous, but most of the time it's stick welding. And somehow, some way, above my knowledge, you can stick weld underwater.
It's like combining
The electrical current used in welding, current electricity flows through water, and the amount that it has to move through that water is less than 1/8 of an inch, really a
Yeah.
small amount. So the electricity flows through there. But
It's
like she
very
said, you are completely suited up. You have hoses coming off of you. You got electrical lines coming off of you, and you're just down in the water.
So if you
And
like
there's-
scuba diving and welding,
Yes.
you might like it.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you ever get like anything like really elaborate out through these?
Not yet. Personally, I'm just getting started with 3D printing. It's only been this past year that I've gotten into it. Yes.
So along with what Portia said, would that also work with underwater engineering?
Yes. Yes.
So you're like the welder's boss. You
Right.
know what to weld and where and how.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So it would tie into it. Yes. Something that wasn't mentioned on there, that wasn't shown on there for the careers in welding. You may not want to be a welder for a career. Welding is a very good creative outlet. How many of you have been to the Wi-Fi park here in town? You noticed a large butterfly out there, made up looking like garbage. The large guitar up there has all the pipes. That was done in the welding class at the high school. Both of those things were built there. If you like to make things out of clay, you can take the same concept and make those same sorts of things out of metal. You don't have to be building something that somebody else is going to use. You can use it purely for artwork. There's a in my opinion, a very cool show on Netflix called Metal Shop Masters, where they show a lot of things that they built creatively. I see you've seen it, yes? Yeah. Yes.
Would making glass be like that?
Like,
Welding glass and everything?
glass is not something typically welded. Making glass would fall under the advanced manufacturing portion of it.